Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to Stable Orbit. What you see on your screen is my latest failure. They so helpfully put your last save game right on front and center, and as you can see, my space station is quite dead in the water. But yes, Stable Orbit is a simulation game, simulation/strategy game, management sim, I guess is more like it, where you are charged with building and managing a station in orbit, as you might imagine, Stable Orbit. Trying to get the station to a point where it's stable and you're making enough money to cover all the costs. Not so easy. Not so easy indeed. But it is by Kodalin and published by Green Man Gaming Publishing. And it's currently $14.99 US on Steam. It is fully released, despite it being there's some things with it that I don't know that it's, given how many times I failed here, I don't know how balanced it is, but I mean, it has been getting patches here and there, but yeah, it is fully released. So without further ado, let us start a brand new station, because my last 3 tests were ended in failure. Preparations A through G ended in failure. Let's do preparation H, shall we? Alright, and I mean, I could go in sandbox mode, but then that's kind of cheaty. So let's just do name our station. Let's say man, I'm always bad at naming things. I'll just say USS Station TAT Station E Station. Yeah, spelling. There we go. USS Station A Stationing. There we go. That works. Alright, so I'm going to pause, because there's one thing I've noticed about this game, and that is your money goes down at a constant rate, and that constant rate is extremely quickly. It's one of these games where the quicker you do things, the more likely you are to succeed. And even just taking a few moments to just try to plan out some stuff, you really need to hit pause, because otherwise you'll end up just out of money before you even know what you're doing. So I am going to, what I need now is I need, let's see, on the bottom here, we will put a, let's see, I need, there's a couple things I need. We'll put a small solar array there, and then a small solar array up above, which sounds like overkill at first, but then when you realize that you're really left with little to nothing here on the station that's actually working in good working order, it's not quite so bad. I'm going to also put a I need to remove excess heat, which becomes quite a bit of a problem. So I want to put that radiator, say, over here, and I'm going to put another one on the other side, even though that's real overkill, but it's more overkill than you might, it's not quite as overkill as you might think straight away here anyway. Then I want to get a truss so that I can expand the station a bit, so we'll buy that. I'll have to wait for that to be constructed so I can do more things. And then I need a docking port for my, where are we at here? I need a shuttle dock, otherwise I won't get anybody up here to do things. And I'm also going to do a small lab, because when they get up here they're not going to have anything to do unless I have that. So where is that at? Here it is. Small lab. Put that on the front. Alright, and then we'll hit play and let this play out. So the next shuttle will be coming on July 8th. And so that's when we'll actually have somebody here to do things for us. Now the other thing is I want this truss to be built. As soon as the truss is built, then I can put some of the additional things down, like batteries and whatnot, to store the solar energy. And then it's a lot of just kind of fast forwarding and letting things happen. So while this other stuff is being built, let's go.
Station altitude.
Let's go put a. What am I looking for here? I am looking for some batteries. Put those there, and then on this side we will put some oxygen tanks. Thank you. And then up above we'll put some water tanks, and then we need some food storage. Let's put that down the bottom. Alright, so we got that kind of going for us now. Have all that built soon, and that used up quite a bit of money, but not as much as you might think once you realize that money is just constantly draining from this thing. And at nighttime, so our batteries are 100%, but at nighttime, it's the amount of power actually being generated is insignificant. Let's put it that way. Once we get the labs running, the other thing is that the research projects. What do you do? The idea is you're supposed to get somebody up here, get an astronaut up here, and then put them in work in the lab and get some research projects done, and the research projects then allow you to not only research new stuff for your lab or for your station, but also they give you the ability to. I should probably just fast forward, huh? They also give you the ability to make money and keep your financial situation somewhat stable. Maybe not as stable as I would like, but there we go. All right, so we got a supply pod. We got a person on board now, a crew member, and you can change what shift they're on as far as when they're working. So you can have a couple crew members and then just assign them different shifts. And then we've got some research projects. So the problem with these is I don't know exactly how long they're going to take. I assume the ones that have the biggest reward take the longest time, so I'm going to do it in such a way that we get some of these lower value ones done first, because the order in which you put them here is the order in which they get worked on. The other thing I really need is some more habitats so that I can get some more researchers up here. So I'm going to go and see if I can build a habitat while I still have money. So pressurized node module, let's do that so I can expand a little bit. And then I want to go, and once we get the pressurized node on there, I'll put a lab on the, or I'm sorry, a habitat on the outside of it so we can get more researchers up here, hopefully. This lab, you can't connect anything to the front of it, which is kind of a pain in the neck. Everything else you can connect things to, but not that.
Contracts.
Okay, new research contracts. Did that, and then this one unlocks new modules. Okay, got it. Yeah, see, it looks like the ones that are cheaper go a lot faster, because this one here is probably going to. Oh, the problem is I can't unaccept it once it's there. I can't like rearrange the priority of these things, which kind of sucks, because I would like to accept things and just rearrange their priorities around based on when they expire and stuff like that. Can't do it. It's first in, first out. FIFO queue. All right, and now we got this pressurized module. Let me see if I can. Do I have the money for habitat? No, I don't. No, I don't at all. So that sucks. This is the point I usually get to, and then this is where the wheels fall off the bus, pretty much. CC. Our battery's holding up pretty well, even though it's taking 3 kilowatt hours of power out of the battery. It's a 100 kilowatt battery, so we're okay there for the most part. And then I believe some of these things have actual upgrades. And then they also have these green, these bars that say, hey, they need to be repaired and stuff. That last station I showed you on the main menu that was the result of me just fast forwarding time and not actually repairing anything, so everything just went to hell in a handbasket. So also I ran out of money too, so there was that. And once something is destroyed, you can't repair it anymore. You have to actually eject it and build a new one. So it behooves you to keep an eye on some of these things, which, you know, when you zoom in, they do give you a view of what's going on. And as you can see, we are still burning through money pretty quickly. I mean, that's my main problem with the game, straight out, is that it starts you out with pretty much nothing, and then it's like, okay, have some research contracts, and the research contracts don't actually give you enough money to really do anything, and they take so freaking long to get through. I'm hoping that by doing them in the order that I've done them here, that we'll get through these a lot faster than I did first time around. So that's what really killed it. And you see how fast the money is going down there. How are we doing with the water tanks and stuff? Everything seems to be okay. Our meals are okay. The radiating stuff. Oh, good. We completed some research. That's fantastic. Okay, let's pause for a moment. This one's at 169 million. So that's really made some progress already. Yeah, I'm hesitant to put any more of these on here because I know this one is probably going to take a while. Even though we have until August 8th, it's probably, the thing is here, we're probably not even going to make the expiration date on it. So that's where I run into issues. So now we have this. Still can't do a small habitat. It's 15. Oh, it's one. Is that 1.5 million, or no? That's got to be 1.5 billion, right? And I've got 252 million. Yeah, we can't do much there, can we? Water tanks, food storage module, oxygen tanks. Probably didn't need to do oxygen tanks. It's probably where I went wrong, but whatever. I guess we'll keep on rolling here and see if they can get through some of this research. I mean, that's the big problem right now, is getting over this first initial hump. I feel like once you get over this first hump, everything will just work for you. And of course, I have sort of over-engineered this. I probably don't need 2 solar panels and things like that, but it just, you know, the game, it's constantly draining your bank account, right? So it's like, how do you manage that when a game just over time just constantly keeps draining stuff out? So the computer voice also constantly tells you things, but sometimes it's not actually true when it tells you things. I don't know. I really need that so I can get 2 more crew members, so we can get 3 shifts going, and then once I get 3 shifts going, then we're good. I can just roll with that, and then we should have the money just rolling in then. Agricultural, kind of a basic. Yeah, see, I don't know how long. With only 1 person working 1 shift, this thing doesn't get a whole lot of love and attention, right? But we are sort of sustaining ourselves for the most part. Our battery is only draining down to 60%, so that's good. It just means I did put solar panels on there, a little too many solar panels probably. But yeah, there's not a whole lot I could do. There's not a whole lot I could do right now except kind of just wait. I feel like this is the point where, you know, the game, it kind of falls flat for me, because there's this huge hump to get over at the very beginning. Let's see if let's make sure everything's still in good working order here. Water tanks are still good. Oh, you know what? You know what I should do? Should I upgrade the water tanks? What do we got here as far as... Got 1 month of water. Wasn't there something... Food storage module. Get extra modules. Don't really need to upgrade these yet, I don't think. In fact, everything's still doing quite well. I can't upgrade radiators, really. This radiator, for some reason... This is not the first time I've had this happen, where one radiator will work, but the other one won't. And so we're constantly generating this heat like this, but there's no reason for us to be generating that heat when this thing just won't. It's just, yeah, it says inactive for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't have power, I guess, is what it's saying. But it says that we have plenty of power, so I don't know why that believes it doesn't have any power. This is why I say, like, the game is released, but really feel like it probably shouldn't be released. I feel like these are the kind of things that you would see in an early access game, not in something that's released here. Like, I don't understand. There is a tutorial, but it sucks. It's just like a few pop-ups, and it's like, all right, and now you know how to do the game. It's like, not really, but okay.
Supply pod arriving. Supply pod has docked.
All right, we got a supply pod going here. How's our research going? Still in progress. What's August 21st on this other one? Okay, I think we can accept one of these. Right. Accept this one. Oh, that one's July 28th. That one's not going to get done. And see, once I do something, I can't unaccept it, which is another thing that's drives me a bit nuts. You know, it's like, I think otherwise of doing that, and I can't like delete it. There's nothing you can do about it now. And then lab specialization technology would be great, but it's not something that I need a second person to be researching that, I believe. Yeah, I don't know why this has decided it doesn't want to deploy. This is not the first time this has happened either. Like, this happens... The core's okay. Yeah, I've tried... Even on my test one, I tried this, and it's... Like, it seems like if you put more than one radiator on the station, it just doesn't accept it. Which just sounds weird. Like, you'd think you'd be able to do that. But you can't. It's cost... See, that's got 441 as its input. This is 0. There's nothing that I know of that will tell me... Like, obviously I've got -3 kilowatt hours here, right? But we're in the shade, and we were using the battery. Now we're back in the sun, and it tells me that I have 12 kilowatts. I'm generating 12 kilowatts more than what I need it. So then, if that's the case, why won't this actually power up? Right? Like, it says inputs are 0, but it doesn't tell me why it won't power up. It's just plain old broken. So well, maybe there's no. I mean, it's got clearance, so I don't know. That's part of this game that kind of is a bit frustrating. Is that sometimes you just don't know why things aren't working for you. Meantime, I mean, we still got money, which is better than I had last time. Everything's still relatively intact as far as the durability goes. Again, better than it was last time.
Boosting station altitude.
All right. So yeah, not a lot I could do. Once that research completes, I'm hoping that will give me just enough to get that other habitat going. Yeah, why does that not work? That just bothers me a bit. I mean, obviously I can eject it and just try something else, but It just doesn't make any sense why that wouldn't work like that. Everything else seems to work.
Automatic station keeping boost.
So you can do your own station keeping boost if you want to conserve power, I guess. But honestly, seems like there's no reason right now to do that. Now see, our battery's draining down to 50% now. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Our oxygen is... we got 3.1 weeks of oxygen. I like that they do put like how many months and stuff you have on there, so you can kind of have a better idea of it. I don't want to upgrade. Ah, there we go. Research complete. Did that give me enough? That did not give me enough. It did not give me enough at all. But let's just look at it anyway and make sure. Small solar array, medium batteries, oxygen tanks, water tanks, radiator. Gimbal nodes. Yeah, it's not. It still says 1500. We got close, but not close enough, which is unfortunate. So yeah, maybe the 2 solar panels wasn't. You know, it's hard to tell. I feel like the game is kind of jipping me anyway here, like not letting this radiator work and stuff. So I don't know that there's any particular right answer here. Obviously, there are those who've gotten a lot further than I'm getting here, but what do we got? This one. 119. I guess we can accept this one. 179. And I would do the lab specialization technology, but I really need the money, so I guess I'm just gonna have to. Well, let's wait and see if we get more research projects. Maybe we'll get a couple more small ones that we can deal with. I mean, it's not really, they don't, as far as I know, they don't give me like a balance sheet or anything to tell me like, hey, here's how well you're doing for the few months or whatever. It's just kind of, you're just watching numbers, just really watching numbers here. Yeah, I can accept that one.
Boosting station altitude.
Because that should go pretty quickly, hopefully. That one's also by August 12th. So, because you would think you would do them based on when they expire, but really it seems like it's based on difficulty.
Supply pod has left the station.
Okay, so then we've got 72 million one. Yeah, see how fast these are going? So that's definitely the difficulty of them. So if I just do a whole bunch of small ones, maybe I'll get just enough. Like, it seems like it's offsetting the cost there. If I get lucky to get enough small ones. Our water didn't really get replenished, which is a little bit strange. Like, we had a supply convoy come up, right? But it didn't do anything. Do I have... I believe there's a recycling thing too, right? Did I not do that? Water tanks, food, transport. Yeah, waste recycler. Maybe I should do that. Let's buy that waste recycler. I mean, we're very close to where we need to be for that other module, but that's alright. Let's just do that because our water is really not holding up too well. You would think that they would have... the last supply thing would have given us water, but it did not, which I find rather strange. Let's put an extra water tank on there too. Again, using up money that I could have used for other things, but whatever. Just do that. And hopefully we can reclaim some of this lost water here.
Boosting station station altitude.
1.7 weeks. Yeah, our battery gets down to about 48%. Okay. So then, how's our water looking? It's still pretty grim. Unless oh no, that's oxygen. That's not water. Duh. This is water here. No, oxygen is looking pretty grim. What is going on with our oxygen tanks? Batteries? I don't need to upgrade the batteries yet. I will soon though, probably. Oxygen tanks. Yeah, what is going on with you? And why aren't you storing enough oxygen for our place here? Is there like an oxygen reclamation thing, or I doubt it. You don't really reclaim oxygen. Food, water. No, just oxygen tanks. Oh, there's an oxygen generator that uses water from the water tanks. Okay, this might be what we need. I might need that right away, actually. But I really need this other thing too. But I think the oxygen is going to be the more pressing thing here. Also, we don't have any research going. That's not good. Let's accept that. Accept that. Keep those going. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're getting low on that oxygen thing there. So that's got to be something. That's got to take our priority right now. 0.4 weeks. It just jumped up. So that's good, I guess. I don't know why. Did I get a supply? No, I didn't get a supply thing. Let's do that. And very loud music. Despite me changing the volume levels, it always seems to be a bit loud. It's like there's no normalization in their sound here. Okay, what I want. Yeah, I think I better put a oxygen thing here. Oxygen generator. Let's do that. It seems like a good idea. Whoa, what happened to our money? What the hell? The money just drained right out. What the frig? All I did was build a freaking oxygen generator. Oh, because it's 504K per... Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me right now? That's balls. So, my biggest complaint, as you can probably guess from this game, is that now, and because our maintenance costs, we can't keep maintaining things, our stuff is going to start taking damage. My biggest beef with the game is that it does not feel like it's balanced at all. Like, it feels quite the opposite. It feels very imbalanced. Like, something like that should not drain your money straight out like that. Like, that's wrong. Yeah, I mean, like, there's an obvious need for oxygen. The oxygen was going down, but yet, I mean, I can inactivate it, right? Or no, I can't inactivate it. Can't do it. You'd think you could toggle that off to say, no, just don't be active anymore, but you can't. Because I thought this would, like, fix the oxygen problem, right? You would think it would, and yet all it did was just instantly drain your bank account before you could do anything about it. That's just... Yeah, it feels like the game is just not balanced, right? That's the whole big deal right now, is it just does not feel like they did enough to really make this thing click correctly. And yeah, Yeah, it just doesn't feel like they did enough here to really make this work correctly. I mean, the only thing I could do is try and, well, even if I were to eject this, it's still, I still don't have any money. So everything's still going to take damage. And this is the problem, right? Something like this should be, if you're doing your game right, something like this should be recoverable from, right? It should be enough balance in the game that even though I screwed up without realizing I was going to screw up, that at least I'd be able to make amends and somehow pull myself back out of this deficit, right? You can't. It's so imbalanced in the very beginning that you just cannot pull yourself out of a deficit. You can't. All you can do is not get into the deficit in the first place. Is basically how that works. So, I mean, the research is helping. So I guess if I just eject this thing now, that should bring my costs down a little bit. And it did. Yeah, it brought my costs down. Repairing that node. Now, the thing is, when you're repairing stuff, I don't know if that means that you're no longer doing lab stuff, because there's only one person on the station, right? So you would think that they would be the ones repairing things. Well, that's all repaired, so that's fine now, I guess. So how are we doing with this? Let's see if I can pull us back out of this deficit again. That pisses me off. I mean, we generated some oxygen anyway, so that's half the battle, I guess. But basically, we're still in a hole. Not as much of a hole as we were in. Ugh. Oh, there we go. Now supply pod. Okay, well, that might have helped a little bit. Possibly. How are we doing here? Alright, keep accepting things. So we can get all of our... If I can get us back up to, you know, freaking 1500, then we can actually get more researchers up here. So I take it back. You can recover eventually if you still have someone researching and stuff, but it's still a bit hokey, I think. Me personally, I think.
Station altitude.
So that's by September, right? So I guess we'll try that. Even though it's a big contract, but it might at least get me out of the hole here a little bit.
Research complete.
And we shouldn't lose any more durability, I would think, right? Yeah, we're not really losing any more durability because we're maintaining things. So that's good. Is that why this doesn't work? Because we don't...
Performing
maintenance costs are...
station keeping you have new research contracts.
And I guess I'm wondering too, like, you would think you'd be able to toggle things on and off if you're, and it would save you on the maintenance costs. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't, like, everything's self-contained, right? So you would think you'd be able to just turn it off and not pay any maintenance costs on it. But I guess they just never thought to put some basic, you know, gameplay, quality of life stuff in there. But yeah, whatever.
Performing automatic station keeping boosts.
Alright, how are we doing here? This one, we actually seem to be going a little bit faster on this one than we have in the past. I guess that's because we're 3 into the agricultural camera stuff, so maybe they're now trained in that, maybe? I mean, how's my... It's been up there 53 days. Resting, sleeping, resting. Okay.
Boosting station altitude.
I say to that.
A tragic incident has grounded all supply pods until further notice, Commander.
Oh, for crying out loud, really? So, in case you didn't hear that, because it was barely audible over the music, a tragic accident has grounded all supply pods for the moment, is what they said. So that's fantastic. I mean, all I can do is really just keep plugging forward here. Let's see how this works out for us. If it does. I mean, we're slowly losing oxygen, and I can't do a damn thing about it because as soon as I put an oxygen thing on there, it drains my bank account. It's just, it's just stuff like that that just kind of bugs me. I mean, 99% of this game is just balancing the various numbers down at the bottom of the screen. That's pretty much all it is. It's a numbers game more than anything else. So if you were looking for some kind of deep strategy in here, you're not going to find it. It's just literally just a keep all the numbers in the green, fix the numbers that aren't in the green, and then watch as you fix the numbers that aren't in the green as they drain your money down again, and then everything's in the red. That's basically how that goes. It seems.
Automatic station keeping boost.
And now there's no word as to when I'm going to actually get some help back up here or get another shuttle up. So that's fun.
Research complete.
All right, good. That's completed. We got a neutron radiation thing, which is a whole lot of money, but it's not really. I'm kind of afraid that that's going to take way too long to do, even though it'll give me a whole bunch of money to work with.
Station keeping boost.
We only got 2.3 weeks of oxygen left anyway, and no shuttle scheduled, so it really doesn't matter at this point. It really doesn't. We got 4.3 meals, 3.3 months, 4.3 months of meals left, but not enough oxygen to eat the meals with. So, unless my astronaut just kind of hangs out in her spacesuit for a couple weeks. Okay, so
station altitude.
All right, we boosted the altitude. I mean, I'm almost at a point where I can get another lab, but I know it's just going to drain. I mean, how much does the lab do? And I mean, they have all these like messages over here too. It's like they're so cluttered that it really. I don't know what to do about these, honestly. Supply pod has exploded on launch. All supply pods are grounded pending investigation.
Station keeping boost.
Yeah, so it's just warnings. Radio 2 of some wear and tear. Recycle 1 wear and tear damage. Food, blah blah blah. What's the info things? Contract, research contract, research contract. Blah blah blah. That's all that is. Okay. How are we doing with that?
Commander,
We're getting along.
increase oxygen supply.
Yeah, increase oxygen supply. How exactly would you like me to do that? Because there's no way for me to do that. Like, as soon as I try to do that, you're like, no, let's drain your account now. Could I just... I mean, I could build it again, and then have to recover from that again, which is just fun games. Yeah, I could build it again, but it's 1,000, and now I'll bring it down to 60, and then this thing just will drain everything out of there. Like, there's nothing. Like, what can I do to that would make a difference there? I guess I could. Since this guy's not working, I guess I might as well just eject him, because he's just taking up maintenance costs. How much maintenance cost is that? Like 2,400? Yeah, okay. So I can just eject that out of there. And then this one was like 5,000 though, right? So it's still gonna be no bueno. And giving them more oxygen tanks is not going to work because there's nothing to fill it up with. So basically, we're boned. Is pretty much, and this is the shape of this game, right? It's like they bone you coming and going here. So we got 6 days left on the oxygen. That's fun. Still no word on when we're going to get another shuttle up either. That's great. It's just fantastic. So we got oxygen tanks and nothing else that we can do about it. Yeah, nothing here. I guess we'll just let this station die then. And I guess the best thing I can do at this point is to start over. And let's try it with a few less things. I'm gonna let this play out though. Maybe I'll have some kind of epiphany in the next 3 in-game days. Or probably not. But there we go. And I mean, I guess I could get away with just one solar panel maybe for the immediate future. And we got 1 day left, and that's it. That is it. 0 days left, and then our astronaut dies. Research complete. So, yep, astronaut has died. Yep, that's that. Alright, so we're just gonna go and do a new station, because that was... Station is now dead. So let's try, Alpha Beta Base. I'm giving the game every opportunity here to actually be good. But right now, it's just pissing me off more than anything else. No, I don't want a tutorial. Your tutorial sucks. Slightly miffed. Just slightly miffed. Let's do small solar array. Just one of them. Then we will do the docking port, because that is necessary. Transport shuttle dock. Then on the back here, we'll do the medium truss. And then on the side, we'll do the whatchamacallit. Do the where the heck is it at? The radiator. Like that. And then right now I'm going to put an oxygen generator on it, so I know what we're getting. You know what I mean? Like, so I know ahead of time how much money is going out every month, kind of. So let's hit play on that until the truss is built, and then I can. Oh, you know what? I might as well get the lab too. Otherwise, we're not doing much of anything here. So where is the lab? Power, oxygen. Come on. Small lab right there. On this side we'll get well, I'll hold off on the other node until we actually get it, until we actually have a need for it. So here we'll put just some batteries. And put some oxygen tanks just for the sake of argument. And some water tanks. And then we need a food storage module. I know that from the tutorial. Okay. So now we're left with 248.5 million. Let's see how this drains every day. draining pretty quickly. Pretty darn quickly. And
Supply pod arriving.
there's our solar
Another
panel.
supply pod has arrived at the station.
Okay, so we've got the lab built. So let's right away hope that we get a bunch of small contracts so I can get through them quickly. Let's get those two going. I'll hold off on the neutron radiation one for now. Let's just get this rolling until we get some money on here. Now let's see what our power is like. Okay, the battery's going down to like 70%, so we're still good there. Alright, grab that one.
Alert. We've suffered some damage.
We've suffered some damage. What? What is... Oxygen generator 1 was struck by... For fuck's sake. Seriously, game, come on. Give me a break here. Yeah, repair the damn thing. So 504 per K per day is our maintenance thing on that. So let's move forward here. Research. How are we doing? Okay, agricultural camera. I know that takes a while to do. Neutron radiation probably takes a while to do as well. But we do need to get some money up here, so let's do that one. Agricultural. As I kind of have an idea of how long that's going to take. And then this one, epigenetics in microorganisms. Let's see how well we do on that. Yeah, our money is going down really quickly, but so far so good as far as holding our own here. Not taking up that much power. Our oxygen is very good, so I don't have to worry about that too much. So that's good. Having an oxygen, apparently having an oxygen generator actually works out really well for you. I don't need to increase my batteries. All I really need to do is get enough dough, enough moolah to get another thing going here. And I'm gonna need a, I mean, I don't necessarily need to put a pod there, a four-way pod, but I feel like if I don't do that, we won't have anything that I can leech off of. Well, I guess I could leech off of that top one, huh? That would save me a little bit of cash. It would save me quite a bit of cash, actually. Alright, well that's what we'll do. I mean, it would be nice if I used that for the other solar panel, but I guess we don't really need that at the moment. Okay, so that being said, how are we doing here? So there's a lot of just kind of sitting here looking at watching the bars go on the research. This one's July 24th. There's no way we would be able to get to that one.
Supply pod is nearing the station, Commander.
All right, we're getting supply.
Pod crew sends you their regards, Commander.
Okay, so we got resupplied. That's fun. And what I really need, so the next one is August 5th. If we can just get a whole bunch of things. All right, take that one. We could just get through this big research contract here, get a bunch of money, and then we can have a flood of money coming through.
Performing automatic station keeping boost.
And that would help a bunch. But looks like we're in the green for a lot of things now, which is much better than it has been. 1.4 months, 1.5 months, and then 7.2 months and 4.8 months. Yeah, we're pretty good now. We're not, I wouldn't exactly call us stable because our money is still going down by quite a lot, but I assume at some point we'll start to see a green bar here when our money is going up each month. If that's ever a thing that happens. But anyway, A whole lot of just waiting around now. Alright, so several in-game weeks later here. We've gotten through some of the big contracts, and I think it's time. I think it's time for us to expand a little bit. I purposely waited until I had a little bit more than what I think I need for the crew habitats here, 1,500. So let's do that. We'll have that built, and then we'll see what that does as far as our power requirements and other things. So we'll get to monitor that, and then that means I'll have a few other, at least 2 more astronauts up here. So how far down does our battery go? 59%. Okay, so we're still good on that. Still good on that, and we have a pod scheduled to come up on September, so that should have some astronauts on it, hopefully. Couple in-game days here. Also see how the research is going. So basically, it's a whole lot of just staring at the research screen here and watching bars go by. But keep on. You want to keep on doing as much research as you can. And eventually, you're just going to be hitting accept all. From what I've seen in the comments, there's people are just like, yeah, eventually you'll just get to a point where everything's so stable, you'll just keep hitting accept all and everything. Now, for some reason,
a supply pod is nearing the station, Commander.
For some reason,
Research complete.
my waste is now overrun where it wasn't before. That's weird. Do I have... I think I have waste tanks here, don't I? Batteries. Food storage. Where's my recycling thing? I know that I have a recycling thing. Almost certain I have a recycling thing. Unless I forgot to put that on here. I might have forgotten to put that on there. Is there a recycling? Waste recycler. I think I forgot to put the waste recycler on, didn't I? Let's do that now. Yeah, I must have forgotten to put a waste recycler on there. Well, now we definitely need one because we got more people on here. But now that we got more people, I can now set up the different shifts, which they actually already did. Marooned. I mean, Hab 1. What? What do you mean by marooned? Oh, is there not enough laboratory space? Is that what that means? Oh, I guess there's not enough laboratory space. Yeah, but, that doesn't mean it. That's weird. I don't know what that means or why that would be a thing. But I see our battery's getting down to 15%, so I think I'm going to want to upgrade our batteries here. Get an extra battery pack going. Probably because I just did the waste recycling thing, or when the waste recycling thing starts up, that'll be another drain on it. Oh yeah, it's down to like 2% now. 0. Well, that's not fun. Okay. See, it was doing fine with when I was in fast forward mode, but now it seems to be struggling a bit. 18%. Maybe I should just do both upgrades on it. I mean, what's the worst? What's the worst that can happen with that, right? And this is repaired. Everything seems to be in good working order. It's just the waste recycling that's not in good working order. So, yep, research is complete here. What are we doing? We're still doing all right. New research contracts. I think we're getting through the research a lot faster, which is nice. We're not generating enough power though. So I do need a solar array, which I can't afford now. Awesome. Can I can't upgrade that either, right? Yeah, of course. Of course that would be the way that it would go, right? It's like, oh yeah, now you can't actually afford the things that you thought you could afford. So yeah, fun times. That's our recycler. Didn't I have a recycler? I swear I had one, but I guess not. I guess I decided to hold off on that for some reason. All right, well, and really I can't put a solar panel on there yet until I guess I could put one on there and then expand later, like launch it off into space and then expand or something. You can see this has no expansion on the side of it. But yeah, I mean, that's about as good as it's going to get for me, I think. I find that I don't really have the patience for it. If I'm to be totally honest here, it's just it's a whole lot of just staring at numbers and then not understanding why numbers suddenly drain without warning or rhyme or reason to it, and then getting pissed off by the random nature of some of the stuff, and then just quitting, which is what I'm about to do. So yeah, this has been Stable Orbit, my friends. This is by Kodalin and published by Green Man Gaming Publishing. It's currently $14.99 US. It is fully released. Very imbalanced and rather boring, honestly. Unless I mean, it's a good screenshot simulator, but otherwise it's just not really that particularly interesting, which is a shame because yeah, I mean, it just kind of devolves into just being a keep your bars green simulator more than anything else. So yep, that's the way it goes, my friends. So as always, I'll leave links down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.